Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Earthen's Den. So this one here is going to be really quick. So I just want to let everybody know that there is no straight path to success. I believe that you're going to fail many times. I've failed many times. I'm very young, but I've tried many different things. I've always had a lot of goals and dreams and ambitions, and I always wanted to be successful. I tell you guys about my upbringing in the earlier episodes, and I just kind of wanted to let everybody know, please do not listen to people who are so like filled with self-hate for themselves. What I've noticed with a lot of elders and a lot of people in our older generations is that they didn't take chances. They didn't have the information that we had. They may not have known what it was that they wanted to do in their 20s. And so when you're young and you want to pursue something, they're going to tell you not to do it. They're going to tell you to look at statistics. They're going to tell you what they feel like you should do and what they wished. I'm sorry, what they wish they would have done. And it's a lot of it is just projection. One of the things about me was that I just did not want to live my life for regret. I've listened to people before and I've made mistakes and I did regret that. But I think, having learned from those experiences, I realized that it was my life and I had to take a chance on me and I had to live for me and not for them. I wasn't going to let them control me. I wasn't going to let anybody control me in the sense of, them not living out their dream. And so what you have to realize about youth is that it is such an advantage. There is so much advantage in naivety. I think that there's so much advantage in because the thing about it is that when you're young, you're curious, right? And there's so much you don't know, so there's so much more you're willing to try. And I just think, walking with God on this journey, man, it's a lot of loss. And people say, oh yeah, you making those decisions with those jobs or whatever, you shouldn't have done that. But the thing about it was that I had tried many different things, and I was happy to say, hey, I actually learned that I do need income, right? And I don't want to be a struggling artist, and I do want to do this a different way. But I was happy that I took a chance on myself, and I made a little bit of money, but it wasn't enough for me personally to sustain, what it was that I wanted to do. And so, those are just things that I had to learn along the way. But I'm just thankful that I tried. Your situation may be completely different. Maybe for you, you may actually have to leave your job, and things may take off for you. You know what I mean? It just depends on your journey. But the point that I'm making is make your own decisions, because at the end of the day, it's your life. You have to live for you. And there are so many people who try to tell you what you can and cannot do because of their own fears and their own projections. They don't even know you. You know what I mean? Like, really sit and think about it. Like, do they really know you? You know what I mean? And I just think that so often we seek advice and guidance from our elders in our younger years because, this life is like, okay, I don't know. What should I do? But you got to assess people's hearts. You know what I mean? And no, you don't want a yes man, but at the end of the day, live for you. And I guarantee that success will definitely be yours. I believe one of the things that makes me successful, even now today, I'm still proud of myself. You know what I mean? People will look at your life and they'll try to compare it to what you should be, where you should be, what you shouldn't have done. But, I think about, first of all, the mental things I had to overcome. I think about the milestones that I've made on my life. Of course, we can always be doing more. Of course, we can always be doing better. But I believe just for me, it's the mentality and remaining in a space of gratitude. You know what I mean? For like everything for how far you have come. You know what I mean? And I think so often we're so ready to get to the next thing, or we got people in our ear feeling like we should be further ahead than where we're at. And sometimes you just got to disconnect and just know within yourself, like, I'm making strides. You know what I mean? And I believe in me and I believe in my vision. And don't be afraid to start over. Don't be afraid to try a different path. Don't be afraid to, take your business or whatever and do something differently. You know what I mean? I don't think there's anything wrong with rebranding and, or even just tapping into another gift, because you just never know. But let me just tell you this, as an artist, and as somebody who's made money in art, what I will tell everybody who is just in a space where you're kind of feeling like you don't know if you can make money is not true. You can totally make money. And what you have to realize, of course, is like the caveats and the nuances. Like, yes, you got to be, mindful of like, like your niche and all of that stuff. But at the end of the day, just know that you can make money doing what it is that you love. And that is something I can honestly sit here and testify and say I've done it. I've witnessed it, and because of my own financial, like, ignorances or whatever, I think things could have been differently. But I think overall I've learned from those things and I know what to do moving forward. And so I just want to let everybody know, like, you can totally make money doing what it is that you love. Don't listen to nobody. You know what I mean? Do not listen to nobody. And I think it's just a time and a place where it's like, there's never been more opportunity. And at the end of the day, you got to believe in yourself. Believe in yourself, and don't let anybody tell you that you can't do it, because they can't do it. You know what I mean? Because they've never done it. And the crazy part about it is, this is my thing when it came to elders, and when it came to people who even show up in your face and they say these type of things. It was like, okay, what were you doing in your 20s? Right? Here's the thing, you guys, it's not really a comparison. It's more so like a contrast. So you have to recognize, like, what I'm doing is a whole lot better than what you were doing. You know what I mean? And like I said, it's not comparison, it's contrast, because you got to start recognizing the greatness within you. I just think for myself, man, the advice I just kind of want to share with people is just believing in yourself. I've had so many people try to come for me with my dreams and my goals, and there were times when I really was starting to doubt myself. But, the little light for me was the strides that I was making in my day-to-day life. You know what I mean? It was the little things that were the opportunities that were coming to me, and the little things like, making a podcast, and, it was those little things and the ideas that would come to me, and I would just act on them. I don't really know what's going to hit. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I think I have an idea, but you're just not sure. But the one thing about me was I was willing to try. I was willing to fail. I was willing to look stupid. You know what I mean? And I think that a lot of people don't really, the thing about success is that if you grow up in a town, you don't have mentors, you don't have people around you who are actually successful, a lot of people are going to try to tell you how to get there, but they've never been there. They don't even know what it's like to even sit in those rooms. And so what you got to realize is that if they're not really adding value to the conversation, they can't tell you how to get your dream car, stop listening to them. I tell you all the time, my biggest thing was like, it took me a minute because I needed validation, right? I wanted my parents and, people to support me that I cared about, because I knew that I was always I was always giving out that energy. You know what I mean? So it was like I really did want that validation, but when I recognized that I wasn't getting it and that they was draining my spirit, I didn't need that. You know what I mean? I didn't need that. And I think one of the things about me too was in the times where I was dealing with a lot of loss, you know what I mean? Because I was trying things and I was losing. I was failing. And so it kind of got to a point where I started to recognize, like, dang, man, I feel like I'm so reliant on other people. I felt like I was kind of like losing myself in that sense, you know what I mean? Because I'm around family and I have a very supportive family, so I am thankful for that, but I felt like in many ways it was stifling me. And so, you have people who have their commentary about your life and what you're doing, but, I think at the end of the day, I've always been a person who's been self-sufficient. I like to do things my own way. I like to do things, you know what I mean? But the thing about it is, like I said, when you're trying things, you have family who want to come and rescue you, and that's fine, that's fine and all. But I just think overall, for me, it was just like I knew that I could do it by myself. You know what I mean? I knew that just with me and God, I was with that. And I even still, I'm in a season now where I'm like really trying to receive help, because it's coming to me, but in many ways I have a hard time receiving it, because I just, for me, I never wanted anybody to take credit for what me and God did. You know what I mean? The work God has done within me and the opportunities that God has brought forth in my life, because there was no handouts, and I even think I have people around me now who may not believe, they may be supportive, but they may not like really believe, and that's fine. I just had to develop a sense of confidence within myself. And, a lot of people will tell you that it's arrogant. A lot of people will tell you that, they'll look at you like you think you're better than. But the thing is, don't apologize for your greatness. I think I spent so many years in my younger years apologizing for being indifferent. You know what I mean? And even still, when I was saying, like, I'm embracing it, I really wasn't. You know what I mean? Because I always got that. And so now I can honestly say that, I'm really sitting in that space, and I'm wearing it well. I really feel like my crown has definitely been paid for. And I feel like, when we think about slavery in our history, I'm African American, even though I do think that I got some Native American in me. But anyways, even still, man, just thinking about the prices that was paid for us to be in these positions, it just makes me look at things a lot differently. You know what I mean? So I just want everybody to take everything in. I felt like I may have been talking a little fast on this podcast. I'm kind of like in a hurry. But I just had to get out here and say this because, man, I'm so sick and tired of miserable people, wanting you to sit on the boat with them. I'm not sitting there with you. You know what I mean? And so what I had to learn, and what I want everybody to learn moving forward in your life, do not share your dreams with people. I know people think, oh, share your dreams. People, do not share your dreams with people. People got their own agendas. Okay, people want you to sit in the same boats with them. People want to just in the same boat with them, and everybody's not going to believe in you, and that's fine. You know, find your group of people, whether it's online. I tell you, I listen to motivational videos. You got to just be in that space for yourself, because I think a lot of people think too. You know, you can have people around you who support you, but at the end of the day, y'all, if your butt is not already lit, it doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? Because here's the thing, like about dreaming big, you got to know that for yourself. You know, and I just think for me, it took a while for me to get to a space where I was comfortable standing in the indifference, and I was comfortable standing alone, waiting on people who thought like me. And unfortunately, I haven't met those people yet. But I believe that you got to get in position. You got to consider where you're at. Like, what's your geographic status? You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, are you in a space that may be middle class or even lower class? You know what I mean? So it's like you kind of got to consider those things and get around people who can help you. But yeah, don't apologize for being great, and just really live out your truth, because this is your life. I'm really content. Okay, let me not say content. I'm really thankful with the strides that I've made. You know what I mean? And I just feel like knowing that within myself that's what fuels me. Like I said, it was always that little light that was at the end of the tunnel. It was always those little opportunities that would show up for me. It was always God showing up for me, obviously. You know what I mean? And opening these doors when I didn't know, and I still don't know. You know what I mean? But one thing about me is that I'm very optimistic, and I'm very optimistic. I'm honest with myself and my capabilities. I don't really play small, because I really believe that I can do a lot of things. I think that this definitely goes back to self-esteem. And so you really want to work on developing that, because, when you have a high self-esteem, it's not rooted in arrogance. It's really rooted in, like, a knowing and a belief within yourself. So I'm going to leave everybody with their thoughts, and I hope you guys have an amazing week. Please do not listen to people, because they do not know what they're talking about. They don't even know you. Just show them. Show yourself. Prove yourself. Come in with that energy. All right, y'all.